Let's talk about missions. Let's walk you through what God is doing in our ministry. Journey with us to the mission fields. Allow us saturate your mind and hearts. Get up and close with our close to 2,000 missionaries serving in over 1,600 mission fields in 19 countries across the world. Let us share with you the challenges we face and the victories we've made through the power of God. Let us take you inside EMS.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Inside EMS, where we take you into the heart of missions and evangelism. My name is Saki. In our last episode, we shared the journey of our Saki team during the EMS Southwest follow-up saturation campaign outreach to the Southwest. Well, today we continue from that story, but turning our focus to some of the challenges faced on the mission field. Now, the pressing needs and how you can be a part and play a role in supporting EMS to meet some of these needs. But before then, let's embark on this short time out. We'll be right back. Imagine a community where clean water is a luxury. Children walk miles to fetch water that isn't even safe to drink. EMS of Aqua changes their story. We drill wells and boreholes and distribute water filters, turning the dreams of safe, clean drinking water into a reality. Join us in writing the next chapter. Support EMS today and help us to make a difference, one soul at a time. Welcome back from that break, and thanks for staying tuned to Inside EMS. Now, as our team delved deeper into the mission field, it became clear that the work of spreading the gospel comes with its own set of challenges. Our missionaries often face obstacles such as harsh environmental conditions, cultural barriers, and limited resources. Now, these challenges can make it difficult to reach even certain areas or sustain long-term missionary efforts. But despite all of these hurdles, our missionaries remain committed and focused in their calling. They kept pressing on and on with faith and dedication. The challenges our team encountered while at Saki highlight some of the urgent needs in that mission field. Let's take a look.
And so generally the outreach was so wonderful, the outreach was so glorious. We had good response from the different clusters where people went to reach out. The only issue we have is that Equa is actually scanty in this axis of the Saki. And another challenge we have is that all the places we went, there was no existing Equa church except for Jewode. The Jewode is handed over by a family. They build that place, and then because of the passion they have for the church, and so they also volunteer to put that structure. But then they don't even have a resident pastor. It's still the one managing the Saki church that is canvassing the two.
We want to appreciate God because we went to 2 villages or communities, and by the grace of God we were able to reach out to 136 people, apart from that is the ones we registered, apart from those that came without being registered. We were able to even attend to like 32 people after the registered ones. And in fact, we were able to meet these tribes like the Gbagis and Yorubas, the Fulanis, and other tribes that we don't have their records. In fact, they were so happy, especially the chief of all the places we went. They were happy to have us, and they even asked us to give them aqua drugs because they've been hearing about it, but they've not gotten one to take for themselves. So we were able to give them. And the challenges we had is that we were just only myself, one medical lab, and then a doctor and a pharmacist that came from Abuja, specifically Maitama. Those are the people that helped us. They brought a lot of drugs from Maitama. So that gave us a relief because the drugs we brought wouldn't have met the number of people we attended to.
We had about 4 converts, 3 rededications. Then there are many that have shown interest, but so we should be praying for them. There are challenges. One of the challenges is that of a language barrier. Though we are able to still reach out to people, but we have this challenge of language barriers, having need to have some Yoruba speaking people along with us. But God helping, so we are able to push through. One other aspect of challenge is the gender barrier. We meet some of these women. They are not really ready to, they don't want us to really speak to them. They are afraid at times because of their husbands. But we thank God, some of them, when some of them are around, are able to also encourage them. Then we share the gospel with them.
We went to Ijo yesterday, another community. The KBC give us another power to go to anywhere to evangelize. So we went to the interior area where the Kawa, Kambari people came from Kebi, and some of these Dakarkari from Zuru side, they are residing there for only farming. We are able to plant in a church for them there. So the challenges we face there is lack of the communication gap. This is our problem, communication gap. You don't have interpreter, you cannot communicate with the Yorubas. Some of them, they can speak English, but they deny it because they don't want to hear the gospel. And apart from the challenges we have the Christian, the Muslim people that are there. They listen for them to give their life to Christ. They say no, they have their own religions. So this is one of the challenges we have. In fact, the major thing that I've told you earlier is the issue of water. There is no water. Mobility is one of the problems.
Yes, there were challenges. And the number one challenge is the language barrier. Because on our team, we didn't have the Yoruba speaking people. So, and the community is Yoruba community. So there were people that we could not preach the gospel to because they could not understand English language, Hausa language. Yes, there were others who were Hausa speaking people. So we're able to easily communicate the gospel to them in Hausa language. And amazingly in this community, the majority tribe also there, or the second majority, are the Gbagis. Amazingly, that they came all the way from as a result of the crisis. So they settled in that community and were able to communicate with them in their very language, Gbagi language, because amongst us were Gbagi speaking people. So it was a wonderful experience. Yes, we're also having challenges. There were challenges. One of the challenge is what I have just mentioned, language barrier. It was a challenge. And then we discovered that in that community, they don't have a good source of water. So one of the water or the community we entered, the houses we entered, they didn't have good water to drink. And when I saw the water they were drinking, I was curious enough to know, where do you get this water from? And then they pointed to a river where cows go to drink also. That's where they will go to fetch this water from. So it is a challenge in that community to have a good source of drinking water. This is where the Basi community gets their drinking water from. Like you can see, as it stands, the cows have come already and they have vetted the water. So what they do is to come very early in the morning before the cows will come around, get the water, and then take it home, allow it to settle down for a while before they drink out of it. So there is need indeed for a good source of drinking water for this community.
It was a very, very good outreach. In fact, as at this morning when we are leaving, coming back to this Basi local government in the same Ogun district, there is overwhelming approach that we need to stay behind for us to be able to reach out others. But we know the effort is plenteous for the laborers are few. We need to come over to Basi to be able to reach others.
The challenges that we face is that though the students they are lagging behind in terms of there is no zeal even to serve God much, because some of them they are just a Christian, some of them they don't have Bible, they don't have devotional books even to read, even to help them spiritually. So these are the challenges that we are facing, and some of them also they don't want to hear the word of God, but we try as much as possible to pray for them.
The outreach here is very, very good, and it will make many people to join ECOWAS as a missionary organization in the world. It was actually a great moment, and especially yesterday at Basi, we had a wonderful time, not without challenges. We actually had a pastor who was challenging our president. Why should we be there for the outreach? Why should we be there for the medical outreach and all of those stuff? But then that was causing a problem between them and the chief of the community, who was actually behind everything that we are doing. So the medical outreach yesterday was so wonderful. It was so glorious. We had a good number of people, and then we were actually short of the medical personnel because some people were turned back because of that shortage. So if we advise subsequently, we should be having more of the medical personnel so that we spend the whole time, and everybody that comes, most of the time, because of the prayer attached to the drugs given, you give them a drug and then it works for them, and then that draw them to Christ much more than any other thing.
You have seen and heard it all. Each of these needs represents an opportunity for you and me to make a tangible difference in the lives of those in the front line of evangelism and positively impact the communities. Now, let me quickly say this. As we reflect on the needs and some of these things that we have just watched, let's be reminded of the vital role that each of us has to play in supporting the work of EMS. Now, whether through prayers, your generous contributions, or volunteering to do the work, your support enables us to overcome these hurdles and continue the mission of spreading the gospel. So today we are making a heartfelt appeal. Please consider how you can partner with EMS to meet these needs. And together we can ensure that no challenge is too great and that the message of Christ reaches the ends of the earth. And with that, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Inside EMS. We hope you've been moved by the stories and the challenges we have just highlighted. Remember that your prayers and support are the backbone of this ministry. Until next time, stay connected with us and keep the flames of mission burning and continue to make a difference. Let's continue to make a difference together. My name is Saki saying bye for now.